I'm Spencer.
And I'm a criminal and a hacker, part of the syndicate.
And this is The Itch.
And we're here to review
Watch Dogs 2.
Why don't we hack you? So that's my intro. Give you a start.
Love it. I love it.
Watch Dogs 2, made by Ubisoft. It's the sequel to the 2014 hit classic, whatever it was.
Yeah. Watch Dogs.
Yeah. So it takes place in a new area. The first one taking place in Chicago. Now you're in the San Fran general area. That includes places like Compton.
I'm not going to make the obligatory straight out of joke.
Yeah.
That goes with that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Because I am white.
But so it's not just the San Francisco area. It's Oakland. It's a couple of other areas.
Are they like true to life?
So my roommate confirmed, because he used to live there. He was stationed there, and he's like, "Hey, I was there. I was at that street. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that." So it's, for the most part, it's not, the size is not the same. I don't think.
Yeah.
It's for the most part.
Cool. That's really interesting.
They hit a lot of areas and stuff like that. Game has you playing as Marcus Holloway, I believe. A gentleman who is part of whose initial mission literally sets you up with joining DedSec. DedSec is a hacking organization that's there to, fight the power, essentially. And then you pretty
more of those movements. So yeah.
So you eventually go out and you handle all the tasks that DedSec has you do, and you expose the corruption of the government and the capitalist agenda. Boom. So a lot of it's very satirical. There's one mission that has you trying to prevent someone from getting elected. And
the name rhyme with Bump?
It's Donald Bump.
Yeah. Okay.
And essentially you have to destroy the polling booths because they're rigged to vote for him, no matter who you vote for. Interesting. So there's a lot of
happened in real life too.
Not my president.
My last month here.
so pretty much there's a lot of commentary on the social tension throughout the last few years and whatnot. Gameplay wise, again, you're playing as a hacker. You can. What's cool about the game is like you're allowed to hack cameras, you're allowed to hack gadgets, cars, and stuff like that. It's kind of a new thing is you can hack cars. The operating system CTOS is now in everything, so you can hack like a blender. And you can hack some dudes. Like one of the funnier missions is you get to hack this dude's stream who's like, "I'll fucking kill your mom, bitch," and he's playing the game, and then you turn off his screen, and he's like, "Fuck!" And then you can shut off his internet connection. He's like, "Shit!" And then you pretty much swat him because he swatted a bunch of people. So you call the cops on him, and they show up, and he's like, "Oh shit!" So
that's
cool.
Funny.
Yeah. So they do a lot of that stuff. One cool mission they have you breaking into Ubisoft itself. To get the new trailer for the Assassin's Creed game.
Fourth wall.
Yeah, so that's pretty neat. They're sucking their own dicks when they were doing it too. They're like, the new Assassin's Creed game? Ubisoft, man, they make all kinds of things. I was like, shut the fuck up. But, it's cool.
It sounds like they made some strides to make it a little bit more creative.
Yeah,
does that sound about right?
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of creativity. So if you hit start, the options button, whatever, it brings up your phone, and it looks like a normal iPhone as far as how everything's set up. So you'll have like all your icons there, and you can click on certain icons. You have your music player, so there's a pretty nice bit of music available to you. There's a Shazam, Shazam. Mm-hmm. You can essentially Shazam new music that someone else is playing and get it, because you don't start off with all the music available and whatnot. So there's those features. There's obviously a lot of hacking, and you can actually play the game without killing anybody.
That's good.
There's a non-lethal option in everything that you do.
Excellent.
I didn't do that.
No.
I got sick of it, man. I was like, you have body armor, I have a taser gun. It's not working. Shit! Shotgun, So you have to make adjustments.
Just gotta make sure you clear the room.
So as the story progresses, you kind of start to uncover more about what's going on with CTOS, Bloom, villains, type stuff, or whatever. Noodle, which is Google, or I forgot what some of the other shit was called, but essentially everything is Invite is Facebook. The thing that's great about the game is the characters are actually interesting.
That's
Marcus
good.
Holloway's
I heard that was a big complaint for Watch Dogs.
Yes, Aiden Pierce, I liked him, but he was one-dimensional. I gotta crimes, I gotta redemption. And in this one, it's more like he's a normal guy, and he's like, it's the writing is better as far as like he's more funny. He's a jokester. A lot of the other people that he communicates with, the DedSec team and stuff like that. There's a few oldies that show up. You get to help Aiden Pierce in one mission. You hack his phone to get him out of jail, and then he looks at the camera because he knows someone hacked it. He's like, all right, whatever. And he just runs off. I was like, oh, that's pretty sick.
That's cool.
But that's good. The thing that sucks is you never really know who the villain is. You run into a guy that has a fucking man bun all the time, and he's like drinking coffee, and he does yoga all the time. He's like cursing. He's like, those motherfuckers are gonna die today. It's like so dumb. It's so stereotypical. Okay, so he's the villain, but you never know if you're making progress because the game can come off as repetitive. If you're doing story missions, they're like, and I told this to Matt all the time. They'll play and they'll be like, all right, we gotta hack into this place and figure out, who's behind, this crime that's going on or whatever. And then they go, oh shit, it's Bloom. They're setting us up. Oh shit. And then, whatever, you solve the mission. Then you go to the next mission, like, oh, who's taking care of those polling booths? It's Bloom. Oh man. Are you not surprised at this point? It happened like 4 times back to back.
I imagine they have like one of those like dartboards in the detective office, and like there's only like one picture of one guy and it's Bloom. And they're like, whole thing's straight back. And like, what is the cause of this?
They circle him. They're like, who's this? Who is he?
Like the one guy.
It's like literally watching an episode of Scooby-Doo, and it's always Old Man Jenkins. Like, it's fucking no shit.
Yeah.
It's obvious. So, I mean, whatever. I just need to get that out of the way. But the gameplay is pretty solid for the most part. You can play multiplayer. It's a lot better.
Co-op multiplayer?
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
You can run through missions together and stuff and fuck around. Matt, my roommate, when we were playing together, liked to steer cars into me when I was driving. So he's like, I'm like, you're an asshole. So you get to do that stuff. I have to say, sound-wise, the music is awesome. All the music, licensed and otherwise.
Oh, there's licensed and non-licensed?
Yeah, so unlicensed stuff, they have this song, it's an opening song. I actually went and found the song and downloaded it. It sounds funky, but it fits the theme so well. It's you sneaking into Bloom at the time. You're sneaking there, it's the first mission. You're going through and you're hacking everything, and the music kept repeating, and it became like catchy enough, and I was like, it's actually really good. Yeah. So then I started listening to the entire album, and there's a lot of good songs in there. But the licensed music is fucking awesome.
Anybody I would know?
I don't know. Do you know who Crystal Castles is? I'd have to check the rock stuff for you.
Okay.
But yeah, I stayed primarily in hip hop, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
Let me check the white people tracks.
Yeah. No one. But anyway, who's Sublime? I think actually Sublime isn't.
Really?
I think I could be wrong.
Oh,
I think there's some grungy stuff in there, but there's definitely like some heavier stuff.
Cool.
But so you've got that, and then the original soundtrack, great. The sound wise, voice acting wise, everyone did a pretty good job. Marcus Holloway. Marcus is black, but the thing is instead of like some of the dialogue kind of touched on that. Is they're like, yeah, glad to have another brother around. With another black dude. I mean, the thing is yes, some people do actually say that,
right?
But at the same time, it's like they let you know, hey, Marcus is black, but they didn't like this is black culture type stuff. They didn't go crazy over that.
It's not like GTA 5 when you're playing on
like Franklin
pretty
missions. Much, yeah.
It's like, you got a dog.
Yeah, they didn't do that. I mean, even if parts of that is true, it's still stereotypical.
Right.
They had him like, he's like, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. And like, you're talking to one of these other dudes, and he's like, they're coming up with like names for each other, and he's like, I'm the masked wanderer, and you are the black stranger or the dark stranger. And he's like, yeah, you're the white cracker. And then I was like, damn. But they joke around with it, and they're like, yeah, he's black, but they don't go too far to where it's like stereotypical or like potentially offensive. I felt like they did a good job with the character.
Cool.
But yeah, voice acting wise, everyone did a pretty good job. Graphically, the game doesn't look bad. There's a little bit of mess ups with the lip syncing, the dialogue.
Really? I've noticed that with a lot of games.
Yeah, some games either you got it or you don't. Like I'll look at Uncharted and be like, that's the pinnacle right now. I haven't seen it.
Even Witcher 3 had some issues with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it done. Evil and evil, greater, lesser, middling. Yeah, it's whatever. But pros.
Okay.
So the game is actually pretty solid when you kind of break it down to gameplay. Gameplay is pretty nice. You got the multiplayer aspect, so you can play with a friend. There's a lot of drop in, drop out. So you'll just be chilling, some dude just drives his car through your world. You're like, motherfucker! And then you can, chase him or whatever. There's a lot of shit to hack. They've definitely stepped up the game as far as making the characters more likable, more approachable. Characters you actually want to vouch for. I remember beating the game and I was like, it is going to kind of suck not hearing some of these guys talk to each other. So that does bite. However, cons-wise, the game can be repetitive. Story-wise, you don't know if you're even doing anything. There's a point in the game where you hack a satellite and you can hack to different parts of the world. And I'm like, why don't you just do that for all the rest of your problems?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they didn't. So I was like, what the fuck, Doug? We need to break into this place. Okay, hack into that satellite, and then you can break in there. Like, what the fuck?
No, that was mission 2.
Yeah. You don't understand. That was 8 fucking weeks ago. It's like, we don't have access anymore. Whatever the case is. But, I mean, that's kind of a little bit wonky. You will run into the occasional glitch. I've had a hard time getting through certain areas. Like, I'll try and jump, and he's parkour sensitive now, so he's like flipping over everything and all that stuff, which is cool, but you'll flip over and just get stuck. Not cool.
Yeah, it'll be, because whenever they do that, it's like, you can only do it under the right circumstances.
Yeah, it's context, yeah.
And open world games have the problem where it's like, how do you know what they want you to flip over and whatnot?
Exactly. And another problem with that is there's no health bar, right? Which is fine, most games don't have it.
Yeah,
but you don't know if you're taking enough damage to where you're going to die.
It's not clear?
It's not clear. I can't say how many times I've been like, really?
Will it do like a red thing?
The screen gets red, but sometimes someone will hit you with some spike damage and you're dead. You're like, what the fuck? And that never changes. Of all the things that you can upgrade in the game, you can't upgrade your health, which is kind of sucky. But all in all, as a recommendation, it's a pretty solid game. If you like the first Watch Dogs, you're willing to give it a shot. Maybe you like Assassin's Creed and you're looking for something like it. I would say get this game at around maybe $35. It's pretty solid, maybe 40 if you can find it. Anything more than that, I'd wait for the price to dip down a little bit. It's a nice experience. The only thing is
Side question then. How do you think it compares to Watch Dogs 1? Because Watch Dogs 1 was so controversial. People just thought it was kind of boring. Does that sound?
Yeah. So this one feels like it has more of an identity. This one definitely sets itself apart in the area of making the characters more likable, having a little bit more motivation for things. There's a mission that has you going and getting, I don't know if you saw the dude that had the mask on, and it's like LED lights kind of sync with his
like
personality.
X's on his eyes.
Yeah. He loses his mask. And you have to go get it. And it's
a spoiler?
No. It's a simple mission. And you have to go and get his mask back. But once you get his mask back, it's like a character building thing. Because you kind of realize him without the mask. He kind of needs that personality type thing or something like that. Like, that's who he is type thing. So, that's neat. It's a neat thing, and they definitely tried to make that attempt to go, hey, these characters are more living, breathing. They miss with one character. I won't say it because it is a spoiler. But with the other characters, they pretty much hit it. And I like that.
That's good. I'm glad they ran with it and tried to fix some of the flaws.
Maybe the next game they can try making it less repetitive.
Cool. Well, I'm Spencer.
JD.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.